YouTube. Christian Prepper Gal here. And I just decided at the spur of the moment to dehydrate some celery today. And I just kind of wanted to share that experience with you, so come on along. I've got 2 stalks or 1 pound of celery here. And it's been sitting in my fridge for almost a week. It's getting a little bit soft, but that's okay. It'll still dehydrate well. That's the good thing about dehydrating food. You can, if something's almost on the verge of going bad, you can dehydrate it and preserve it. So you might ask yourself, why would I want to dehydrate celery? Well, I am dehydrating a few vegetables so that I can put together and have meals in a jar vegetable soup. One of the things I've already, or some of the things I've already dehydrated is corn, potatoes. These are shredded hash browns. Actually, they were frozen hash browns. So easy to dehydrate. And green beans. And you might notice this little packet sitting in there, and that is an oxygen absorber. I chose to use that instead of vacuum sealing the jars because I didn't have the lid for my vacuum sealer yet. So, and it works just as good as a vacuum sealer does. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slice these about 1/4 of an inch wide. And we'll try and get them as evenly as possible so that they'll dehydrate evenly as well. Anyway, I was talking about dehydrating the vegetables to make a meal in a jar soup. And that's something you can put in the quart-sized jars and just have it ready to add water and cook it up really quick in like 20 minutes on the stove. If you have a really busy day or you're just not feeling up to cooking that night, then it can come in really handy. Other uses for dehydrated celery are obviously you can put them in soups, casseroles, but you can also dehydrate it and then crush it up into a powder form. And I'm going to go ahead and chop up these pieces, which I normally wouldn't use, and dehydrate them and use them specifically to put into a powder form. That way I'll have celery powder to add to different foods as well. So that'll be nice to be able to add the flavor, but not the celery, because some people in my family just don't like celery. They don't know what's good for them. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and chop up all these celery stalks. And then I'll be back when it's time to put them in the dehydrator. Okay, I am back. And would you look at that? The celery is all sliced and the trays are all filled up. I just wanted to mention that I put the little leaves and the top pieces on the tray by themselves, so it'd be easier to take them off if they do dehydrate sooner than the others. And then we've got the trays all filled up, ready to go. I will be placing them, they're already in the dehydrator. And I will set the temperature for 135 degrees Fahrenheit, and they will dehydrate anywhere from 5 to 9 hours, but I'll check them at 5 hours for sure, just to see how they're doing. I did want to mention that some people will blanch their celery before they dehydrate it. You can do it either way. The manual that came with my dehydrator did not mention blanching them first, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try this way And if it doesn't work out, then I'll go ahead and blanch my next batch. So I will be back in anywhere from 5 to 9 hours. And I am back. Our celery has been dehydrated, and it did take 9 hours for it to do so. This is the top tray that had the leaves in it, and they're all dry and crispy. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And then this is a tray with the with the celery in it. Looks quite a bit different than it did when we first started out, doesn't it? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the celery in a Ziploc baggie and let it sit overnight so that it can cool down properly. And then tomorrow, because it's already almost 1 o'clock a.m., tomorrow I will put them in the quart-sized jars and vacuum seal the lids on them. So there you have it, dehydrated celery. And this I'm just going to use, like I said earlier, for making a soup, or use it in stew or other things where I won't have to actually rehydrate it by itself, because I can throw it right in the pan with the other foods. Okay, well that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you please click on like and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Happy prepping, and God bless.